few weeks ago, someone asked, any thoughts on sight words versus phonetic learning? This is what the literacy community calls the reading wars. Which is better to teach children to read? Phonics refers to teaching children letter-to-sound correspondence so that they can decode and sound out words. Sight words are actually words you memorize as a whole, recognizing the shape of the words without needing to use any decoding strategies. So let's unpack all of that in this video. I'm Leanne, teacher turned stay-home mom, and I've taught kids for almost 20 years. And I want to share some of the things that I've learned along the way. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So the question is, should my kids learn decoding skills or should they memorize how words look and spell? The short answer is both. So if that's what you came here to find out, you have your answer. But the real question is when to do which. The earliest way to teach kids to read is by using sight words.
Wrong. You got it.
I explained this in the video how to teach your kids before 3 years old, and I will leave the link in the show notes below so you can check it out. Kids are these awesome sponges, learning machines from the minute they are born. They take everything, even as they are still figuring out a filing system in their head. If you call this a cup, it is a cup. If this thing is a bed, then it is a bed. It is what you tell them it is. So I told my babies these phonograms make the word car, and it was car. They don't ask why, and that is the beauty of a sight word. They can recognize the shape of words that make that sound. But what happens when they start to encounter words that they have not yet seen? And in the English language, there are many words and many ways to spell words. That's when you want them to be able to figure it out themselves. And that's why we want to teach them to decode. We teach them which letters make what sound and how to blend those sounds together to read a word. We teach them how to segment words we hear so that they can spell.
Use cuss. Cup.
If we teach them phonics, we show them how to read most of the words in the English language. Most, but not all. The English language is an alphabetic system, but there are words that sometimes do not fit into the system. And sometimes there is good reason for that. Did you know that English words do not end with an I, U, V, or J? So how should children learn these exception words? I explain when and why these exceptions are spelled as they are. And a good explanation can help us hook those exceptions to make it easier to commit them to memory. And so we are back to sight words again. Do you remember how you learned to read? Do you find spelling difficult even as an adult? Let me know in the comments because we are going to talk about that in just a bit. Let's take this phonics and sight words discussion one step further to make sure you come away knowing when to use one over the other. Reading isn't everything. Besides reading, the kids have to also use letters to learn to spell. Reading by sight words, while fast, makes it much harder to spell well later on if that is all they rely on.
Appearance.
The ultimate end goal for me in teaching phonics is to help children be better spellers. I teach them to segment words into sounds first, and then match those sounds with letters. For the most part, the basic root words in English are decodable by phonics.
Next, can I open?
Yes.
Appearance.
Enough that there is a reliable system that will enable them to read and spell most things. But, like reading the words which are exceptions to the rule, so too it is with spelling. I start with an explanation on why we spell those words differently from the way we read them or hear them. And then we commit it to memory based on the spelling rules we have learned. Sight words and phonics is not a versus debate. It's knowing when and why to use both in your tools. If you know why you use them, then you will know when to use it to help our kids be better readers and spellers. The English language is like a puzzle. Which moves should you make? Which tools should you use to reach our final goal of communicating well? If you want to know more about those strategies, check out the rest of the How to Teach Your Kids to Read playlist in the show notes below. Thanks again for watching this video. Hit the like button, share it with another parent who could use some help, and I will see you in the next video.